From the official television station of Illini Sports, this is WCIA3 Sports and your Illini Nation.
Illinois football had its destiny in its own hands just 2 weeks ago, needing just 2 wins to clinch its first ever Big Ten West Championship. Senior day for the Illini as well today, as several Illini getting their last game at Memorial Stadium. But after losing to Sparty last week, a win today against Purdue becomes a must in their chase to get to Indy. Everything coming up Illini early. First possession, it gives to Chase Brown at the goal line. He reaches over, breaks the plane to give Illinois this 7-0 lead on their very first possession. But after the Boilers tie it up after that, once again in the red zone, the Illini give it to Brown. One cut, he's back into the end zone. Also, striking the Heisman post. Chase looking for some recognition for his big season this year. Now some controversy. Aiden O'Connell back to pass for the Boilers. Looking for Charlie Jones. Devin Witherspoon comes up with the pick, but not so fast. Flag on the play for pass interference. That one looked clean to me, but that was a theme on the day. Brett Bielema, certainly not a fan of the call there. Very next play, O'Connell goes back to pass once more. Going to Jones again. This time, the conference's leading receiver has his man beat. Boilers tied up at 14. It's 14-all going into halftime. And there's the biggest drum in the world for Purdue making an appearance. After the Boilers retake the lead, Tommy DeVito trying to get the offense warm in the cold. Finds Brian Hightower, makes a nice grab in the corner of the end zone. That'll tie things at 21. O'Connell, really good though. He leads Purdue back down the field, finds his tight end Payne Durham, drags Kendall Smith along with him into the end zone. Boilers go up a score at that point. Illini running out of chances now. DeVito back to pass once more, looking for Isaiah Williams on a crucial possession. It's batted in the air and picked off by Kieran Douglas. And that'll do it for the Illini. They fall in this one 31-24. 12 penalties for 121 yards becomes the big difference in this one. And as Brett Barron shows us, nothing went right for the Illini on Senior Day.
Chase and Sidney Brown were the last Illini on the field. The twin brothers walked off the turf at Memorial Stadium together in their final game in Champaign in what turned out to be a disappointing senior day. Sidney waited for Chase outside the medical tent after he went down with an injury late. The Heisman hopeful scored twice, but the consecutive streak of 100 yards rushing in a game is over at 10, with Chase finishing at 98. The Illini racked up plenty of yards offensively, more than 300 total, but penalties proved costly, a season-high 12 for 121 yards.
And that was kind of a microcosm of the whole day. I thought we did enough things, self-inflicted wounds, obviously a lot of penalties today.
Several pass interference calls hurt the Illini, the biggest one in the second quarter on Devin Witherspoon. It looked like he had an interception but was flagged for PI. The Boilermakers scored on the very next play, tying the game and giving all the momentum to Purdue.
That was a pick. I think that was the only statement I really, truly had to say about that. That was a pick.
That one was frustrating. I tried to get an answer. I couldn't quite get it. We've had these officials before. We had them at Indiana. They're going to call things a certain way. So
the mistakes added up to the Cannon Trophy going back to West Lafayette, with the Boilermakers extending their streak to 6 straight wins over Illinois and Champaign, dating back to 2010, leaving the Illini asking what could have been.
You know, with having the 6-game stretch, there's all highs and just a little bit of adversity right now. But you still got football to play.
Just got to learn from it and get better. I mean, just back-to-back weeks just falling short.
Now the road to Indy and playing for a Big Ten championship gets a whole lot tougher. Instead of controlling its own destiny, Illinois now is going to need some help down the stretch, and it doesn't get any easier with a trip to Michigan next weekend. The Illini have not won at the Big House since 2008. Reporting for your Illini Nation at Memorial Stadium, Brett Barron's WCIA 3 Sports.
Thanks, Brett. For more on the game, including the 3-in-1 podcast coming up in just a bit, head to our website, WCIA.com. Here's a check on the standings now after the early games. Boilers now in front, and boy, it's a mess. Minnesota also gets to 4-3 in conference, and then one of Iowa and Wisconsin will join them there when their game is over. Purdue now in the driver's seat for the Big Ten title game.